Hey guys, in this video, I want to talk about what I would call the secrets to exploding customer growth in an auto detailing business. And stick around till the end of this video because we are going to be doing a giveaway with some sweet products and tools that I think you guys are going to like. And at the end, I'm going to talk about how to enter that giveaway really simply. Now, let's go ahead and get straight into the content of this video. If you own an auto detailing business or you want to own an auto detailing business, one of the biggest questions that inevitably everybody always asks is this: how do I get customers? And this is the question that I want to address today in some pretty vivid detail and talk about some things that I think are going to be unbelievably helpful as we walk through, you guys watching me get through this interior detail on this small Mazda SUV here. Now, first of all, I want to address this in an overarching way, 30,000 foot view, and show you guys kind of what we're going to be talking about here. Most of the time, detailers are focused on 100% the wrong thing in business. They're focused on detailing products and tools, and they're not even focused on their business, and it ends up spiraling them downwards until they go bankrupt, their business fails, they don't have enough customers, yada, yada, yada. There are some key things that every single customer is thinking, expecting, and anticipating in an auto detailing business, no matter where you live or who you're servicing. And I want to talk about those key things. And to start, I want to give you guys a little bit of a story that happened to my wife and I just a couple days ago. So we recently just bought a newer house that we're going to rent out in a couple years, and it was, kind of part of our real estate plan. And one of the things that we're having to do with this house, because there's some mold in the crawl space, we live in Tennessee. Tennessee is a mold state. It's basically impossible to buy a house that's not completely new, that doesn't have some type of mold in it, that needs to be remediated at some level. So it's just something you kind of accept in the real estate world in Middle Tennessee. That being said, we bought this house, and the question that I asked was, okay, I get that there's mold in the crawl space, but how did the mold get there, right? The mold didn't just appear there. The mold is there because there's moisture in there. How's the moisture getting in? Are there cracks that need to be repaired? Is there standing water in there that's getting in because of, the way the house is slanted? What does this look like? Well, it turns out there's some standing water in the crawl space, and it's getting in because there's basically the drainage in the crawl space was not built correctly. About 40 years ago, when the house was actually built in the 80s, they did not put in the kind of piping that they do today. And so basically what we have to do is go in now, put in the correct piping with the correct architecture, with the correct plan, and then we're all going to be good. They put this type of piping in new houses today, but they didn't 40 years ago. Well, we called a guy to get a quote on this, and basically he sat there the entire time and was trying to sell my wife on all of these upgrades, all of these things that my wife did not understand, that I did not understand, and the guy was the most scummy, salesy, annoying, frustrating guy on planet Earth. He didn't answer any of our questions, and he didn't give me any assurance that this job was going to be done correctly. In fact, I had some very commonsensical questions to ask him about the kind of piping they were using, and he couldn't even answer me that. They were talking about adding these black, really thin type of plastic piping with divots in them, and I was trying to ask, hey, if these divots are in the pipe, won't the water just get caught in these divots and keep standing there, and that won't actually run the way it's supposed to? He couldn't answer me that question. This guy was salesy, annoying, frustrating. Guess what? People don't want to be sold when they're trying to fix very standard functional things about their house. All my wife and I wanted to know was how to fix this problem, and we want to know the nature of the beast, so I have a very 30,000 foot view understanding of how it works, so that I can correctly differentiate people who are giving me good information and people who are giving me bad information. Well, I got a reference from a close friend of ours, of a guy who does really good work. He came out and he sat down with me for about 45 minutes on our back deck, and he opened up a binder full of laminated pictures of the entire process, exactly how it works, how the big companies do their work versus how their company does their work, why it was different, why they don't do it the way the big companies do, why they use different products, tools, etc., why they do it in a different, even labor fashion, and why it costs what it cost. He answered every single question I had, and what ended up happening after that conversation? Well, not only did I give him a $500 check as a deposit for him to come out at the end of this month to come do the work, he won my business, but it gave me a sense of certainty. And this is what I want to get at. Every single customer in the auto detailing business wants certainty from you on what they can expect. They want their expectations set by you, and they want some sort of black and white understanding or black and white understanding of the outcome that can be expected. This needs to be understood, and this is what we're going to be really hitting on in this video. There's nobody on the internet talking about this stuff, and I don't know why. We're all talking about products and tools that we use in the detailing world, and we're doing torture tests, and we're putting products next to each other to see which one's more hydrophobic. All the while, no one is actually running profitable detailing businesses that are building a long-term asset for you that can be sold or grown over time. And that's what I want to talk about, because that seems to be what's actually going to help people practically in their lives. And if you're, a young guy between 18 and like 30 years old and, you want to start this business, these are the kind of things that we have to talk about. So guys, my point in giving this kind of analogous story here of my wife and I dealing with the mold in our crawl space is, what's the point? I'm not a mold expert. My wife is not a mold expert. I don't understand the nature of the beast of what it takes to do this. And therefore, I am entering in to this business situation and decision and interaction without good enough information for me to make a good decision. I'm aware of my ignorance of the situation. I know that I do not know enough to make a good decision. Therefore, I am going to automatically be more likely to give my business to the person or persons who are able to give me confidence that what they are doing makes sense. Well, how are they going to give me the confidence of trusting them or certainty? It's by explaining the process so that I come in as a total non-expert, but I leave the conversation understanding, oh, mold is actually not that complicated. And while, yeah, I don't understand it completely, I do have a basic understanding. And what you're telling me is making sense. See, what the first guy failed to do is address my uncertainty. He was completely unable to make me feel confident about the process that was about to take place and the thousands of dollars that are going to have to be invested to fix this problem permanently. Not to mention, he said some things that I thought from a common sense point of view, hey, guy, this doesn't make sense. I'm not an architect and I'm not a physicist, but I do understand basic things about gravity and about water flow, and this is not going to fix the problem. And he was unable to answer those questions. So let's translate this to an auto detailing business. Guys, in the last 10 years of running an auto detailing business and having every single type of customer possible and building an auto detailing business in every single way imaginable and finally landing on figuring out how to do it properly for me, I found that every single new customer who calls you, they come in as a non-expert. They know that they don't understand the nature of the beast. They know that they don't understand detailing. And so they are automatically looking to you from the beginning of the conversation. And whether they know how to verbalize this or not, the basic question they're asking you is this. And we'll just put in my name here because we'll pretend like they're talking to me. Basically, what they're saying is, Luke, you're the expert. Can you explain to me in a simple way that doesn't take too much time or too much mental focus what this is going to take to get it to where I want it to be? In fact, Luke, can you take this conversation and understand, read between the lines of explaining to me what I'm even trying to say in where I want my car to be? See, the customer doesn't even understand how to articulate to you what they want and what they're expecting. It is actually even up to you to literally put words to their expectations. And this is what I would call certainty bias. The human brain is naturally going to default into whatever they feel like creates the most certainty. It's why people fall for different schemes that say you can make $1,000 in a day without much work with this one secret. It's like, oh, this one secret brings certainty. It's also a simplicity bias. This one thing is going to make this outcome certain. And my goal with every customer is to create a certain level of certainty in their minds because I know the expectation with which they come into the conversation. And so my question for you today is, what kind of expectation, what kind of prerequisites does your customer come into the conversation with? Because if you can nail these and you can address every single one of these systematically, then you will destroy in the auto detailing world, because I can promise you, every other detailer in your area, they're focusing on the products and tools they're using and how to detail. Let me give you a piece of advice here, guys. You can focus all day long on products and tools and how to detail, and it will separate you by nothing. Like you are the same as everyone else. Like, think about it. You could be, you're only going to get so good at detailing. You're only going to be able to buy such, I don't know, as high-end tools as you possibly could. Like, there's a cap to your detailing skill. So what is going to separate you in a world of commodities? It's not detailing skill. It's your ability to communicate with the customer. It's your ability to get on their level. And that is why I'm focusing so heavily on this subject in my online course that I'm getting very close to releasing, because this is what is going to make all of the difference. And so the certainty bias, this is the number one thing that needs to be focused on. People want to know, number one, what are my expectations? Like, literally, the customer doesn't even know. It's up to you to explain that to them. Number one, what are my expectations? Number two, can you meet them? And number three, can you communicate to me the way you're going to meet them in a way that doesn't bore me and lead me away, but also in a way that gives me certainty and trust that you're going to be able to do it? If you can do that, you are going to destroy in this business. I promise you. I've told people for a long time, in my detailing business, I've always thought of myself as a communicator first and a detailer second. I've never thought of myself as a pro detailer. I'm a pro communicator, I'm a pro teacher, and I'm a detailer second to all of these things. And in that perspective, it has allowed me to grow to revenue that was far greater than I ever thought was going to be possible in this business. Now, I want to move on to a second bias that I think is unbelievably important, that for whatever reason, detailers forsake all the time. Like, you guys can see what I'm talking about when I say detailers almost are offended sometimes when customers question them because of this certainty bias. It's like detailers don't want to take the time to explain things to their customer. It's like, newsflash, guys. This is your job. This is part of the job, to explain things to the customer, to make them think that you are the expert. Like, when customers question you, don't be offended by that. Let that be an invitation to you to win them over. That's actually a good thing. It's evidence of what we're talking about right now. It's an opportunity. It's not an offense. Secondly, there's the convenience bias. Why was it that I built a mobile auto detailing business? Why did I choose mobile? Because what's the reason why televisions come with remotes? What's the reason why every single fast food restaurant wants to do more business through the drive-thru than they want to inside? Because you can get through more people. People value convenience, right? Like, think about it. Facebook, people get all up in arms about Facebook's privacy laws and how they're taking everybody's information. But the point is, people are actually okay with it because it brings convenience. We actually like that Google autofills the rest of our sentence so we don't have to keep typing the 3-word sentence that would take 5 seconds to finish anyways. We sit in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru line for 45 minutes rather than taking 7 minutes to go inside because we don't want to get out of our car. Guys, in the same way, people want convenience when it comes to their detailing. Like, I know it feels like I'm talking about things that are obvious, but sometimes if you don't just yell these things, people don't prioritize them in their businesses. Guys, it's the same reason why when you go get your oil changed and they don't make you get out of the car, there's something about that that's more attractive. They do it while you're sitting in the car. You don't have to move. Here's the point, guys. Detailing in many ways, guys call me all the time and they're like, man, I have to compete on price. I have to compete on price because everybody's lowering their price. Guys, in some ways, detailing is a commodity, and that is why you must be able to separate yourself from the competition. Like, this is what what Nike does. Nike sells a commodity. They sell shoes. They sell shirts. Like, guys, they could compete on price all day, but they don't have to because of the brand they've built up. Convenience is one of these things that will allow you to explode your brand because people are already going into the detailing conversation thinking that it's going to be inconvenient. The fact that the customer has called you to get their car detailed shows that they are ripe for the picking. Think about it. Most people won't even pick up the phone to call you because they think it's too inconvenient. So it's like, here you are. The opportunity is in front of you right now to provide this convenience, to make the customer, to violate their expectation. At the end of the day, this is what you are doing. You know that they're coming in. I'm telling you, they're coming in with a certain expectation of things to be really inconvenient. And here is your opportunity to literally violate their expectation in the most positive way and create an incredibly convenient experience where you go to them. I understand not everybody runs a mobile auto detailing business, and certainly I run kind of a 50-50 mobile and stationary at this point. But the point is you get the liberty to do that when you have an influx of customers coming in. Like, I have way too many customers coming in to take all of them, and that provides you some liberty, a little bit of flexibility. When you're not in that stage, you are at the mercy of convenience, and this is where you want to violate the customer's expectation of inconvenience and make things incredibly convenient for them. Once again, people don't prioritize detailing. People prioritize going to the grocery store. People prioritize eating, drinking. They prioritize alcohol. They prioritize sleeping. They probably prioritize their kids. But think about it. They're not prioritizing these commodities, okay? And so this is where you have to ask the question, how do I separate myself from becoming not a commodity, but a brand? And convenience is one of those things. It's such a simple way to do it. People are often pleasantly surprised when I start the conversation and say, actually, I come to you. I don't need anything from you. That becomes like a famous line when I'm talking to my customers. I don't need anything from you. By the way, guys, I've used customer electricity and customer water for the last 10 years. The last 10 years. And this is the thing that guys are getting caught up in. Do I use customer electric? Do I use customer water? Do I get a water tank? Do I get electric? It's like, once again, guys, this is my point. We need to shift the focus in this industry onto things that actually matter, okay? We have to shift to things that actually matter. Do you want to be a profitable business, or do you want to be the best detailer around? Like, this is a good question to ask yourself. Do I want a profitable business, or do I want to be the best detailer? And it's not that those two things can't be both and. You can be a profitable business and be the best detailer. But my point is shifting the focus into things that matter. Your detailing skills will improve over time, but getting into the business aspect, to communicating with customers, to understanding the expectations with which the customer comes into the conversation so that you can address those in a way that automatically makes them trust you, automatically makes them feel certain that they're going to get exactly what they need, their expectations will be met, and that you are the convenient choice. We have to be honest with ourselves as detailers, guys. This is not a necessity for people. Detailing is not a necessity. And the reason why I'm coming out and talking so straight like this and straightforward is because, number one, I feel like nobody else is talking like this. And number two, I'm building this course that's going to be released in the next few weeks, maybe, a month or so. And the whole idea behind the course is to set focuses on things that need to be focused on to build actual detailing businesses that become more and more profitable over time, that can be sold as an asset or continue to be grown over time. One of the big things that I talk about all the time is not treating customers like they're disposable. Guys, what's one of the most powerful businesses? Subscription-based businesses. Subscription-based businesses have dependable revenue models that people who want to buy the business can look at and say, oh, wow, this amount of money is going to come in every month from this stream, and this stream, and we can add another stream here, and we can increase the revenue model here. Dependable revenue, dependable cash flow is something that is attractive not only to the people who own the business for obvious reasons, but for people who want to buy the business. So this is how we need to look at auto detailing, guys. This is not being talked about, but this is so important. We can shift the way the business model works in auto detailing. This is the way I built my auto detailing business over time, not treating customers as disposable, as one-off things, as like a one-night stand sort of thing, but rather treat them like a marriage. You treat them as somebody that you're going to see over and over. Their car is something you're going to see over and over again. This is something that builds dependable revenue streams. I call it maintenance clients. It's one of the biggest deals in the auto detailing business. Now, I know that this is probably like drinking from a fire hose because I've just been shouting different things, okay? But it's because I'm passionate about this stuff because, guys, we've talked about number one, convenience. We've talked about, or number one, certainty. Number two, convenience. And number three, I want to bring up this third point. But before, I just want to say, guys, what ended up happening in my detailing business is there were key things that I realized not only that came up in every single customer interaction, but also that came up in every single kind of like business model in the detailing world. And I promise, guys, I've tried most, if not all, business models in the detailing world. I've been through employees. I've been through guys where I bought 2 different steamers and 2 different extractors and 2 different products and 2 different tools, where I had guys going out and detailing on this side of the city where I was detailing on this side of the city. I've done it where it was just me and me alone. I've done it where I only took new customers and I had a ton of new customers coming in every day, literally like 10 to 20 to 30 new calls a day, even in the winter time. And I've done it, which of course is where I landed, where I have dependable revenue streams based on maintenance clients. I've done all of these different models in the last 10 years. I literally started detailing, pulling a wagon around in my neighborhood, a little radio flyer, I think it's called radio flyer, wagon, red wagon with a big old shop vac that was dirty and dusty in my dad's basement that was duct taped. The hose was duct taped to the mouth of the vacuum because I didn't go buy a new vacuum and it was super old. And I had a bucket full of Meguiar's Gold Class car shampoo, some microfiber towels, some tire shine, and some Armor All and Q-tips. That is how I started detailing, guys. Like, I've been doing this for a while. I charged $20 a car. $20 a car when I was 13 years old, okay? Walking around my neighborhood while my friends were at the pool in the summertime. They were making fun of me pulling this wagon around, but I was making more money than they were making, even though I was only charging 20 bucks. So, guys, I've been on every end of the spectrum, and while no, I don't know everything, and absolutely I'm still learning a ton about detailing every single day and about business every single day, the fact is, you can learn from people who made mistakes, who went before you, and you don't have to repeat those mistakes. And this is really where the power comes in. And so I'm just telling you guys that I'm not talking from some random made-up story of inexperience, right? Like you can come to Nashville. I put customer interviews on my channel for a reason. I show complete details of me detailing the entire vehicle, like this video here, for a reason. Like this is like, I don't know how much more proof it takes to show, hey, I have an auto detailing business. I've been running it for a long time. This is real, like, right? It's like, don't be too skeptical, because skepticism can sometimes hurt you. But that being said, guys, the third main thing I want to talk about here outside of certainty and convenience is this. When you go on Amazon.com, what is the number one driver to your purchase? It's the reviews, guys. It's the reviews. There are times where you will literally not buy a product, not because it's a bad product, but because you don't think it has enough reviews. Like, one product has 50 reviews and the next one has 450, and you buy the one that has 450. Why? Because of the bias. It's not because the product is better. You don't even know if the product is better. The product might be 10 times more expensive unnecessarily, and yet you still purchase the one with 450 reviews, because what does it mean? It means more people have experienced it. And you think, for whatever reason, more people are doing it, more people have experienced it, and while it has a half a star less than the other one, there's more people with this product, so I'm going to buy this one. We tend to do what other people do. So for the life of me, I cannot understand why detailers in the auto detailing world are not focusing on getting reviews. Guys, You want your customers to sell you to your other customers. You want to utilize your customers so that they sell you, so you don't have to consistently sell your customers on your products and tools. What's the most powerful type of advertising still to this day, no matter what anyone else does or comes up with their software systems or whatever it is? It's word of mouth. In fact, we develop software system advertising models around word of mouth, right? That's what Yelp is. Like, it's for people to put in their opinions on what type of businesses are good and bad. It's let other people sell you. That should be top priority in the detailing world because it takes the burden of you convincing your customer off of you. When you reach a critical mass of reviews, you can literally get to the point where customers call you and they're already sold on you. They're not asking about what you're going to do. They're asking if you have time in your schedule to get to them, and they're letting you know that they will wait if you don't. Guys, this is where you want to be because this takes you from commodity to brand. You don't want to be a commodity in the detailing world. It is easy to slip into that, and you won't build a successful detailing business being a commodity. I promise. That's why I put out these videos, this video after video after video, because I think ultimately it's just we have to talk about these things because it's not about detailing, guys. It's about business. And yes, the entire first half of my online course is and by the way, yeah, this is a bit of a shameless plug for my course, but that's just because it's really good. Like this is another thing. It's like people get skeptical about this kind of thing. It's like, guys, I've spent 3.5 years putting videos out on YouTube for free. And like, who spends 3.5 years building up something just to create a crappy product to sell? Like that's foolish, right? Like no one does that in their right mind. So it's like, no, this product is not bad. No, it's not going to be sucky. Like, of course I didn't spend 3.5 years building up an audience just to create a bad product to get an insider group of detailers. Like that would be absolutely foolish. And I don't know. I don't think I'm foolish. So anyway, that being said, guys, I think it is finally time to talk about the giveaway. So for those of you guys wondering, the thing that we are going to be giving away in this video is a Renegade off-road detailing kit. It's going to come with sick products and some microfiber towels, all this off-road stuff. Not only my favorite like wheel well coating and tire coating that's long-term kind of off-road or terrain dressing, but it's also going to come with all different products. You can protect all different areas of your car. Tons of products completely for free. If you want to enter, you have to do these 3 things. Number 1, comment below this video and just say, yes, I like this information, and only do that if you actually like the information so I know. Secondly, hit the like button on this video. And thirdly, just remember, you got to be subscribed to the Wilson Auto Detailing channel. That's it. So subscribe, hit the like button, and say below in the comments, yes, I like this information. Guys, thank you so much. I'll announce the winner in 3 days. As always, from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, keep working hard, and I'll see you guys in the next video.